Hey, I hope you guys are doing good today. We are going to be watching Why Vampires Hate Garlic, and I am very excited for this one. I have been excited for all of the Halloween food items from Max's channel, so I am pretty stoked for this one. If you do get a chance, I'd appreciate if you can leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a bunch, and I will have Max's video linked in my description below, so be sure to go and like and subscribe to Tasting History with Max Miller because his channel is just fabulous. It's great. I absolutely love it. But I'm looking forward to this one. So we are looking at a Transylvanian recipe from 1580. All right, let's go. All right, we are back to not knowing what these Pokemons are. Oh, I'm in the way here. Right? I don't know what this one is, but it's cute. Oh, I love it. Little bat. I love that one.
With Halloween just around the corner, it's a good time to make sure that you are prepared to fend off anything that might go bump in the night. And for vampires, that means loads of garlic. So I'll be making a 16th century Transylvanian recipe for beef with garlic harvester sauce. So thank you to Wondrium for sponsoring this.
This looks really good. Oh my god, that looks good. Oh, I want some now.
Recipe for beef with garlic harvester sauce. So thank you to Wondrium for sponsoring this video as we learn why Dracula hates garlic. This time on Tasting History. So today's recipe comes from 1580 and was written by the master chef at the court of the Prince of Transylvania. And the way that he writes it is very conversational, like he's just talking to someone, and he's always going back and referencing other recipes, and it can get kind of confusing if you just read one recipe in and of itself. So this is a bit of a mashup of a few of the recipes. Beef with garlic harvester sauce. Prepare the meat like I told you, put parsley roots, leaves, and onions into it. What we call harvest sauce, as I said, is that you beat 6 or 7 eggs in vinegar and start whipping it. Peel the garlic clove by clove, break it well, add it to the eggs and vinegar. Then pour the meat's juices into it. Break it well with the blanching stick after adding the liquid. Be careful to keep it from shrinking. So the real question is, what does he mean by prepare the meat like I told you? Because earlier in the book, he says that he's going to tell you how to cook beef, and then just says, after you wake up, pray to God, wash yourself, then wash your pot. If you want to cook beef, wash your pot thrice, salt it twice or thrice, not more.
Oh, that seems like it's helpful. Yeah, that definitely doesn't give us a whole lot to work with, does it? I kind of like that his book is written like this, though. I do kind of like that. That is kind of cool. That it's more conversational, but this seems like it is absolutely zero helpfulness.
You want to cook beef, wash your pot thrice, salt it twice or thrice, not more. Really? That's all you're going to give us? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we know he uses a pot and salt, and based on some other things that he mentions, I think this is going to be like a pot roast. He also gives a bit of advice.
I do love pot roast. I'm actually making pot roast this week, so I am a fan, big fan.
That I think applies to me. If you're an old man and can't stand, sit down on a chair in the kitchen.
No, you're not old, Max. If you're old, I am old, and we are not that old. We just aren't. we're just older. We're not like old.
If you're an old man and can't stand, sit down on a chair in the kitchen. Gladly. Also, if you want to check out this cookbook yourself, Glenn Gorsuch, who was instrumental in having it translated, has been generous enough to put the entire thing online for free, so I will put a link to that in the description. So
I would actually love to read this. I actually might bring it up when we're done watching this, and so I can read through it, because it sounds kind of cool.
For this recipe, what you'll need is a 3.5 to 4 pound or about 1 3/4 kilogram boneless chuck roast, 2 teaspoons of coarse salt divided.
Lucky for me, I think I have like 5 of these in my freezer, so this actually might be perfect as like something new to try, because I usually make pot roast with like all our roasts that we have in the freezer, but this actually might be something new I might add and try it out.
1 3/4 kilogram boneless chuck roast, 2 teaspoons of coarse salt divided, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 2 teaspoons, Sorry, I couldn't help myself. 2 tablespoons.
Oh my god, I love that he did that. Oh, I remember the count. Yep. Yep. We have to be like around the same age, me and Max, because I feel like all these references like I 100% get, or it's like he unlocks like weird core memories for me. So we have to be like around the same age, which is not that old.
2 teaspoons! Ha ha ha! Sorry, I couldn't help myself. 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of olive oil. 3 cups or 700 milliliters of water. So it seems that the recipe calls for water, but if you wanted to use beef broth or add in a little bit of wine, you wouldn't be wrong to do so. 2 cups or 300 grams of parsley root or parsnips diced. Parsley root and parsnips look exactly alike, and they taste similar, not exactly, but it is really hard to find parsley root because it's a different type of parsley than we typically grow here, at least in the US, so go with parsnips if you can't find parsley root.
Okay.
A half cup or 15 grams of torn parsley leaves, and 1 large...
I don't think I've ever eaten parsnips. I'm trying to think, like, I don't think I've ever had them. I don't think I would not like them, though.
Fine parsley root. A half cup or 15 grams of torn parsley leaves, and 1 large onion chopped. Then for the sauce, you'll need 6 medium eggs, a half cup or 120 milliliters of white wine vinegar, a half teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 small head of garlic, or about 2 tablespoons peeled and crushed. Now it's that last ingredient, the garlic, that inspired me to talk about vampires today, because it used to be a thing to do was to stuff the mouths and other orifices of the dead to stop them from becoming the undead. And
oh my god, I felt that smelled amazing after like a couple days. Ugh.
other orifices of the dead to stop them from becoming the undead. And before they used garlic, it seems that rocks did the trick. Something I learned from today's sponsor, Wondrium. Wondrium is the bigger and broader version of the Great Courses Plus, which I have talked about before on this channel. Wondrium has greatly expanded their library, offering more wonderful educational experiences than ever before, which is great for when I'm researching new episodes. I'm always learning something new from watching things on Wondrium. This week I came across their video on vampire skeletons. From Ireland to Romania, there have been skeletons found with evidence of rocks or nails being used to stuff the mouths or weigh down the bodies of the dead so that they can't rise up. And William of Malmesbury tells of the Witch of Berkeley, who was so worried about being brought back to life as one of the undead that when she did die, she made sure that she would have her body wrapped in a stag skin and then put into a stone coffin and wrapped 3 times with chains. Though William says it didn't work because the devil just came right into the church, tore the chains asunder, and took her away. Her pitiable cries were heard for nearly the space of 4 miles. If only they'd used garlic. So if you want to keep learning awesome stuff like this, make sure to visit wondrium.com/tastinghistory or visit the link in the description to start your free trial today. Now, I better work on this sauce before the undead start creeping around my condo. So first, wash and dry your roast, then rub it down with 1 of the teaspoons of salt and the pepper. Now often when you buy a roast, it's already trussed, but if it's not, then you'll want to tie some twine around it a couple times just to help it hold its shape. Then heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the Dutch oven or a large pot on the stove over medium-high heat. Once the oil is shimmering, set the roast in the pot and brown on all sides.
I love that sizzle noise.
Minutes. Then remove the roast and set it on a plate. Now add the parsley root or parsnips, the parsley leaves, the onion, and the remaining salt to the pot and cook until the onions are nice and tender, about 8 to 10 minutes.
This looks
also,
good.
If it looks too dry, then go ahead and add a bit more olive oil. Then pour in the water to deglaze the pot, making sure to scrape down any browned bits on the bottom and sides of the pot. Then add the roast back into the pot along with any juice that has come off of it, and make sure that the liquid comes at least halfway up the side of the roast, add a bit more if needed. Then let it come to a simmer. Once it does, cover the pot and set it in the oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 150 Celsius for about 3.5 hours. Now while that cooks, and before we make the Transylvanian garlic harvest...
Could you do all this and then throw it in a crock pot maybe? I don't know. 3.5 hours. Holy moly.
Sauce, one has to wonder, why do vampires hate garlic so
True.
much? Garlics, though used by the French, are better adapted to the uses of medicine than cookery. Now, while Ms. Amelia Simmons, author of one of America's first cookbooks, should have known better than to disparage the culinary uses of garlic, she was right to tout its medicinal uses, because garlic has been used for medicine for millennia.
That's true. I mean, I think garlic has like a lot of good things in it for you. I know they always say like garlic's really good for your body and stuff, and it does a lot of things. Okay, so because I can't remember off the top of my head, I went and Googled it real quick because I know there's a lot of health benefits to garlic, I guess, like apparently. Boost immune function. Garlic enhances the activity of immune cells like macrophages and lymphocytes, helping the body fight off viruses and bacteria. Studies show it may reduce the severity and duration of colds and flu. So like, that's pretty good. Which maybe, because I know like a lot of people put garlic in their chicken soup when they're sick, which would make sense. Supports heart health. Garlic can help lower blood pressure and reduce LDL, bad cholesterol levels, which supports cardiovascular health and may reduce the risk of heart disease. I know you can buy garlic like supplements, so I still think it makes you a little stinky though. But but I mean, these are pretty good benefits to get from it. It's anti-inflammatory. The sulfur compounds in garlic, especially allicin, help reduce inflammation, which is linked to many chronic diseases. May reduce the risk of dementia. Garlic's antioxidant properties help protect against oxidative stress, which may play a role in neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. I actually didn't know that. That's actually pretty interesting. Maybe I should eat more garlic since I'm getting up there in age. Improves athletic performance. Historically, garlic was used to reduce fatigue and enhance physical performance. Some modern studies suggest it may help improve exercise capacity. I didn't know that either. Supports liver and digestive health. I did know this, that garlic may help protect the liver from toxins and support digestion by promoting healthy gut flora. I did know that. I didn't know that garlic's good for your tummy and everything like that. All that stuff. Some evidence suggests garlic may help increase estrogen levels in females, potentially supporting bone health. I guess I have to add more garlic. Garlic contains compounds that may help reduce the risk of certain cancers, particularly stomach and colon rectal cancers, due to its ability to inhibit cancer cell growth. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't know that. Raw versus cooked. Raw garlic retains more allicin, the key active compound, but cooking can still offer benefits. Oh, I don't know if I could just like eat a thing of raw garlic though. Eat it. That's a little hardcore, I think. I don't know if I could just eat one. Aged garlic extract is often used in studies and may offer consistent benefits, so that's like the supplement form. Side effects. Excessive garlic can cause digestive discomfort, bad breath, or allergic reactions in some people. So I guess take it sparingly maybe, or you gotta like work your way up to it. I actually didn't know some of those. So you know what? Thanks. Thank you, Max, for pointing that out, that we have, that garlic is good for us.
Cookery. Now, while Ms. Amelia Simmons, author of one of America's first cookbooks, should have known better than to disparage the culinary uses of garlic, she was right to tout its medicinal uses, because garlic has been used for medicine for millennia. The ancient Egyptian Ebers Papyrus promotes garlic's use in treating and preventing the stings and bites of snakes, scorpions, wasps, and bloodsuckers of all ilks. So it's not a huge leap to think if garlic works on the little bloodsuckers, it'll work on the big bloodsuckers too. In the right.
That's kind of true. That is quite, like that would make sense that's what they're using it for. To choose it to, make Dracula not want to come bite you or snack on you.
Writings of numerous medical texts of ancient Greece and Rome, garlic seems to treat nearly every malady imaginable, including infections and diseases of the blood. What's more, throughout history and in cultures all over the world, garlic has been used to ward off all manner of evil, which is somewhat ironic, seeing as one of the origin stories of garlic's rather sulfurous odor claims that the plant sprung up from the first left footprint that Satan left as he moseyed out of the Garden of Eden. The right footprint gave us onions. Now, when exactly all of these theories about garlic's powers became associated with vampires, we don't exactly know, but it probably happened in southeastern Europe. And the origin of the specific vampiric characteristics of the blood-sucking undead is also unknown, but likely stem from the symptoms of several diseases that ravaged the area for centuries. There's porphyria, which causes the sufferer to have pale skin, light sensitivity, and complaints that the sun causes severe pain. And I'm starting to think that maybe I have porphyria.
No! Oh no, no, you're okay. You're okay. Although, to be fair, I kind of feel like that too. I mean, okay, it's more of like I am a night person. I'm just not a fan of the sunlight. Like that doesn't sound any better. But I would say that like when it's like really sunny and like warm outside, it doesn't make me happy. I don't know how else to explain it.
Sun causes severe pain, and I'm starting to think that maybe I have porphyria. Though my dentist hasn't said anything, and those suffering from the disease often exhibit a receding of the gums and the lips, leading to a fang-like appearance.
Oh.
And many patients complained of a sensitivity to sulfurous foods like garlic, which I think I'm safe because I friggin' love this stuff.
True.
Another
same.
disease that ravaged the area and often triggered vampire panic was the plague. And along with herbs, garlic was thought to ward off the disease, so a connection seems inevitable. But for my money, the disease that seems most vampire-like has to be rabies. Both vampires and werewolves likely have origins in this scourge, which is spread by biting. The sufferer often froths a bloody foam from the mouth and behaves in an erratic and violent manner. And they develop a heightened sense of smell, making things like garlic all the more repulsive. And the two animals most associated with the disease were dogs, hence werewolves, and bats, vampires. It was a bat that gave Meredith rabies in the office. She did not turn into a vampire though. But if you are worried that you might turn into a vampire after being bitten by a bat, you can just eat a lot of garlic. And if you don't want to eat it, then it seems you could just kind of hang it about the place. For example, even to...
Oh yeah, that's right. Like everyone talks about like hanging garlic, eating garlic, like all of the above, and it should protect you. I don't know about. I mean, I totally get it for the time period, but as we know, I mean, like that's not really how that works. But I do love the thought on it and the thinking that goes behind this. I absolutely love that.
If you don't want to eat it, then it seems you could just kind of hang it about the place. For example, even today in Romania, Saint Andrew is revered as the country's patron saint as well as the patron saint of wolves and the man responsible for bringing garlic to the country. And so on November 30th, the feast day of Saint Andrew and Romania's version of Halloween, the way to ward off the spirits, demons, and vampires endemic to the holiday was to hang garlic from your windows and doors, hang it in your barn, and even spread it on your livestock. They also have a tradition known as the guarding of the garlic, where the young people of the town would bring garlic to the center of town, put it in a pot, and then dance around it, and then have the matriarch of the village watch over it all night. And while the holiday seems to be when the vampires are most...
That sounds like a very, very long night that they'd have to sit there and watch it all night. Oh my gosh. I almost feel like this is a very stinky time period. Now, don't get me wrong. When you got garlic and oil in a pan sauteing, like that smells absolutely amazing. Like I love that smell. That's why like one of my favorite smells, like when you're cooking like that. But having this much garlic around everywhere, I feel like this seems a little bit smelly.
The village watch over it all night. And while the holiday seems to be when the vampires are most active, the practice of hanging garlic should work all year round. That's actually what Dr. Van Helsing did to protect Lucy in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Though in the book, instead of cloves of garlic, it was actually garlic flowers that he hung about the room and made into a necklace to put around Lucy's neck, to ensure that every whiff of air that might get in would be laden with the garlic smell. Unfortunately for Lucy, nobody seemed to tell her mom of the plan, and so her mother comes in and is like, this place stinks. It smells like garlic in here. Takes all the garlic, throws it out, opens the window to let some fresh air in, which, spoiler alert, also lets Dracula in, who kills Lucy.
I love this Dracula, though. This is Dracula Dead and Loving It, where the clip is from. God, oh my, that's like, I used to love watching this movie.
Let some fresh air in, which, spoiler alert, also lets Dracula in, who kills Lucy. So Van Helsing fills her coffin with garlic, but...
Now, the other Dracula from the 90s, I believe, and it's got Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves and Anthony Hopkins and some other people in it. That one's really good too. That one is like a classic in my mind, that I remember watching a lot. That one was another one of my favorites. But this one, Dracula Dead and Loving It. If you want to watch something funny, and this is like this one's pretty old too, but hysterical. It's absolutely great.
That's Dracula in Who Kills Lucy. So Van Helsing fills her coffin with garlic, but no dice, she still rises up, becoming one of the undead, and so they have to stake her through the heart, cut off her head, and for good measure, stuff some more garlic into her mouth. Now, much of the vampire lore that we have around today actually comes from the book Dracula, but much of what Bram Stoker got came from actual practices in Romania that were documented in the 19th century by Emily Gerard in The Land Beyond the Forest, Facts, Figures, and Fancies from Transylvania. In very obstinate cases of vampirism, it is recommended to cut off the head and replace it in the coffin with the mouth filled with garlic. Though it wasn't just vampires that were deterred by garlic, but in bringing in the corn, a few heads of garlic bound up in the first sheaf will keep off witches. Garlic put in the money bag will prevent the witches from getting at it. Pickpocketing witches, the scourge of our times.
Hi, you know what? It looks like we got a lot of good uses for garlic. Keeps vampires away and witches, and money stealing witches.
Now, she details more about the Nosferatu, or the vampires of Transylvania, including letting us know that there are actually two types of vampire. There's the undead vampire, which we know and love, and they're made by being bitten by another vampire. But then there's also the living vampire, whose creation is maybe a little less threatening to our modern sensibilities. The living vampire is generally the illegitimate offspring of two illegitimate persons.
Oh.
Well, land's sake, somebody must alert the church elders. The book is also instrumental in...
Oh my God. Wow. If that is not some sort of a roast of some kind, oh my goodness, that is crazy.
Persons. Well, land's sake, somebody must alert the church elders. The book is also instrumental in helping you detect if there is a vampire amongst you, because they are masters of disguise, and the first thing to do is check to see if it's been raining lately. And if not, then killing a frog is sometimes effectual in bringing on rain. But if this also fails in the desired effect, then the evil must evidently be of deeper nature, and is to be attributed to a vampire, who must be sought out and destroyed. Oh my goodness. I'm thinking Los Angeles is filled with vampires because it never rains here.
You might be right. You might be onto something, Mister. Yup. Max might be onto something.
We do have a lot of talent agents, and they're bloodsuckers. Now, I know what you're saying. This is all old superstition, confined to books and movies and TV shows. But allow me to offer a bit more contemporary evidence for the use of garlic against vampires. In the 1970s, Harry Sen, a folklorist, was told that even at that time, in Romania, handing out garlic at a church service and seeing who did and did not eat it was a good way to detect if there was a vampire in the congregation. And
oh my God. All the scheming. I love it. It's like these parts of history that are they're like so entertaining. It's amusing and it's like so crazy. And I just love it. I just love it.
It was a good way to detect if there was a vampire in the congregation. And in 2012, less than a decade ago, garlic sales skyrocketed in a small Serbian town after the town council warned everyone that they should hang garlic from their doors and windows. We have also reminded them to put a holy cross in every room in the house.
Oh my God.
The precaution was due to the collapse of an old shack that had been the home of the 19th century vampire Sava Savanović.
Oh.
The destruction of the house was thought to leave Sava Savanović homeless, and so he would be wandering about looking for alternative accommodations.
Oh no.
Now, did the people actually believe that this was a real threat, or was it all a bit of fun, a little tongue-in-cheek? I don't know. What I do know...
Well, I mean, I guess sometimes it depends on like where your superstition lies. And skepticism, right? Like if you thought that for the longest time, as long as he was in his hut, he was good. But then if you're not as skeptical about stuff like that, then you probably don't think it's a big deal that his hut got ruined. The other side of it is there's very religious and spiritual people who do and like and people just in general who really believe in uh like when something gets disrupted, something happens, right? Like a grave gets disturbed or something where people were buried gets disturbed, like construction, or something terrible, or like an earthquake happens and something falls on some, it's like there's all these like instances and then they think something gets let out. So I don't know. I mean, like, I think it's kind of like whatever helps you sleep at night. So seeing that this hut got destroyed and you are going to put garlic out and that's what makes you feel better, you're not hurting anybody, Like, do you? I just say, do you?
Is that with all of the garlic in the sauce that I am about to make, I should be safe just in case Sava Savanovic comes prowling around Burbank. So you'll know your meat is cooked when you can insert a fork or a knife into the meat and twist with very little resistance.
That's good.
Then take the pot out of the oven, carefully removing the roast and letting it rest on a platter. Now to make the sauce, go ahead and whisk the eggs and then whisk in the vinegar until smooth. Then add in the garlic and the pepper and whisk to combine. Then take a cup or so of the broth that the roast was cooked in and very slowly add it into the eggs, whisking vigorously the entire time so that you temper the eggs and they don't curdle, or what the author calls shrinking. Now it's kind of unclear here what to do next with the sauce, if it's ready now or if you have to heat it, because he warns to not let it boil, and if it's not being heated, then I don't see why that would need a warning. So for my money, put the sauce in the saucepan and set it over low heat to slowly warm while you whisk. This will thicken the sauce over the next couple minutes, just make sure not to let it boil or it will curdle. And here we are, 16th century Transylvanian beef with garlic harvester sauce.
This looks delicious. Oh my God, I think I'm gonna have to make this. I'm gonna have to make this.
It smells so good. You can smell the garlic, most definitely, and then there's a bit of a tang to the vinegar, but the other aromas from the meat and everything, it smells really, really good.
I mean, it looks good. Oh, this is gonna be delicious.
The meat is so tender, it just falls apart. It's so good. It's so flavorful, even with just the water. I didn't use broth or wine. You can, but it doesn't need it. It has plenty of flavor, and the garlic sauce, it is strong. You don't need very much, just a little bit on top.
If the garlic sauce is strong though, oh man, that is right up my alley. I like stuff like if something's like really garlicky, I do love that. I do love like that like strong garlic taste in something. It's like I don't really go overboard with garlic when I cook with it, but if I order something that's like pretty garlicky, I think it's delicious. I love it. Love garlic.
Sauce. It is strong. You don't need very much, just a little bit on top, and it just lifts it up. It is garlicky.
Oh, but
you don't like garlic, you're not gonna like the sauce.
That's
but
true.
It is absolutely delicious, and it's a really smooth sauce, which for this time period is odd because they're just coming off of thickening sauces with like breadcrumbs, and so they tend to be kind of lumpy. But this isn't. It's so smooth. It's almost like a modern day sauce. Try a parsnip. Honestly, I was going to say you could also use just like a turnip. It's a little bit different, but you could also just use a turnip. So of all the savory dishes, the entrees that I've made here on the channel, I think this might be my favorite ever.
Oh.
It's absolutely wonderful. So I encourage you to make it. I also encourage you to like this video and to click the link in the description for your free trial of Wondrium. Also, for more Halloween content, last year I did an excellent episode, if I do say so myself, on soul cakes and the history of trick-or-treating. So I'll put a link up here, and it should be the next video that pops up if you just keep watching. So I'll see you over there on Tasting History.
This was great. I absolutely love this video. I loved it. This looks delicious. This looks so good. I am gonna have to make this. I have never eaten turnips, parsnips, or anything like that, but I don't see why I wouldn't like them. Like, there's very few vegetables in this world that I don't like. Like, I pretty much like every single vegetable. I think the only thing I don't really like are Brussels sprouts. That's pretty much it. I will pretty much eat everything else, So, I think this looks so good, and I do need to use some roast that we have in the freezer this year. So this actually, I feel like this video was just meant to be at this time. So then now I have something new to make other than like just or maybe like a different kind of like pot roast or roasts of that sorts. But loved it. Let me know if you guys have made this, and what you guys think of it. Do you like it? Do you love it? If you added anything, did you do anything different? Let me know in the comments, but absolutely love this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you guys being here. Be sure to go and like and subscribe to Max. He just such an amazing job with these, and all of his food just looks so good. Most like I'm gonna say 99% of the time, everything looks absolutely delicious. Like there's been a couple questionable things, but I want to say like 99% of everything he makes looks absolutely just oh so good. So be sure to go and like and subscribe to him, and and we get these really cool history lessons with him, which I absolutely love. So yeah, be sure to go give him lots of support. But that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys had a great day, and I will see you in the next one.